Okay, Kelly, I want to know a little bit about what you noticed, the most profound physical experience that you've noticed living here.
We always have strange experiences here, but there have been a few that have sent me to my parents' house to spend the night on their couch. A lot of times when the kids are gone, it's like that wasn't normal activity, and that would get things going. There have been strange noises upstairs. My kids would always come down in the night and tell me something was weird upstairs, or there was something in their room, and could they sleep with me. So I never told them it didn't exist, and I never tried to verify the story. I just told them to get in bed with me. And then when they were gone, there were nights here that I would get up and search the house. I would smell smoke and think that the house was on fire, and there would be nothing. One night I heard the glass shattering, and I got up thinking I didn't know what. And I didn't see anything, so I went to bed, and it wasn't until the next day that I saw the broken bulb behind a big heavy piece of furniture, which the bulb then shot out of the ceiling fan, and it should have gone in a different direction, not behind a big piece of furniture.
Right.
There were the time that the upstairs, a big loud noise. Later when my daughter came home, we realized what had happened was the dresser drawers had been pulled out. Let's see, what else has happened?
And flipped upside down.
Somebody in the middle of the night just came up, like they beat on the door like this and sat me up in the middle of the night. And going to investigate, there's nothing there. A couple times like that, something in my ear when I would say, I don't know who you are, I don't know what you are, don't be here when I get back, and it was like they were breathing right on my neck, and that noise, which was one of those that sent me to my mother's house, to the couch.
I don't blame you for going to your mother's house. Brittany, what did you see, if anything, or hear in the recent past that made you scared or uncomfortable here?
One afternoon, I was skipping school. I told my mom I was sick, and I was
Naughty.
watching TV and just hanging out in the middle of the day. And I was on the phone with one of my friends, and I was in the room opposite us that's right off the kitchen. And I heard a big bang noise, and I heard what I saw to be was the pan spinning on its edge and the pot rack swinging, and I was on the phone. I said, oh my gosh, someone's in my house. I'm too scared to get up and go look. So I came to the edge of the door, and I saw that, and the pot rack just violently swinging back and forth, and the pan is still spinning like a top, and I was so scared. I ran out the door with no shoes in my pajamas to my mom's school and stayed there the rest of the day.
Wow. Wow. Okay, Chris, when Kelly was moving back in the house and renovating and stuff, you told me a story about you doing some work on the walls and painting. What happened then?
Well, it was very surprising. I was going to help my sister paint, and I walked into the room and was painting the closet door that we talked about. There's a lot of activity in the closet. I set the paint can down on the floor and began my first couple of strokes. Starting from the bottom of the door, I was planning to work my way up. I made about 2 strokes with the paintbrush and felt something wet right on the top of my head right here. And I put my hand up, large drop of paint, this big, right on top of my head. And I looked around and I thought, did I drip? It was impossible. I had painted only, this high off the floor so far, and yet something had hit me on the top of the head. I couldn't account for it. It still kind of amazes me.
Over the years since I've been here and taking recordings, you girls have heard several of the things that I recorded. What are your thoughts on the entities behind them? For instance, the gentleman on the steps that said you can never let them in or win, or the voice that came from the upstairs closet that said this is not your house. What do you girls think?
Well,
Any idea?
There are a lot of people that have lived here before that we know a little bit about. One family in particular that lived here for a lot of years that did a lot of renovations, and we suspect that, you know, the father of that family is probably still here. The house is so old we don't even know all the different people who could have been associated with it.
Because it was a boarding house at one time, right?
Just during World War II, actually another family had, the family that owned the house lived upstairs and they rented out the bottom part. So maybe 4 or 5 years.
And
Okay.
it was a rental house in the 20s too, when my great-grandparents lived here,
By,
they rented it. So
From a family named Ronimus.
yeah, that's right.
And so we had 4 years that I was thinking when we first moved in, maybe, you know, my relatives would be here as a ghost. And also then I worked with the last owner of the house when I first started to work at the bank years ago. So it's kind of strange that Bellbrook is small. We know some of the history and could quite possibly know some of the people that are still around here. The scary noises and sometimes voices that I hear, very unsettling to me. That is not the norm here. It's not what I find in my comfort zone, and
Especially now with the new baby.
I mean, there's hair stands up on the back of my neck. I've heard things through the baby monitor every once in a while. I didn't like putting the baby upstairs for a nap without me for quite a while, and just last week when I heard somebody actually say no to me when I thought someone had come in, I especially don't like it when I'm here by myself.
I'm not too fond of it when you're here by yourself either. Okay, girls, in conclusion, I just want to know what you think about the future here. Are you comfortable with the way things are? Do you expect that this is going to be the way your lives are going to pan out for the rest of the time you live here? Are you comfortable with the ghosts?
I'm comfortable, except for the ones that pass through that don't really belong here.
Yeah, that's a problem.
I would love to find the source of that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I am comfortable with everything else, but the occurrences that happen, sometimes it's a day, sometimes it's a night, sometimes it's a week. I question sometimes why I live here, and then we go back to a normal again, and if you call that normal, with our regular haunts, and that doesn't seem to be as frightening.
I think some of the spirits here almost feel like part of the family and the companionship of the town, and then others
Not so much?
That's right, that's right.
Yeah, sometimes I can't get out the door fast enough when I'm here alone.
Wow, me too. And I'm a ghost hunter.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
most of the time, I think they're pretty friendly. We've heard was it an old woman outside Cameron's room that sort of protects him, and Howard told Shelley that he likes when we would sing when our computer was in the landing, where he kind of hangs out, things like that. It's not too uncomfortable.
All right, girls. Thank you very much. I'm going to finish up here and send this off. Thanks, Christopher. We'll talk to you soon.